Today we're getting into the latest Tesla news, including Tesla once again removing significant hardware features, the Model 3 selling better than the Camry, Elon Musk's Twitter purchase, and more, so let's get into it. First up today, Tesla's most popular vehicles, the Model Y and 3, continue to increase sales across the globe. Each time they enter a new market, it's only a matter of time before they become the best-selling electric cars, and then start inching up as the best-selling cars in general. In August, the Model Y was the most popular car of any kind in New Zealand. These are impressive statistics to see, but sometimes have to do with the timing of when cars are delivered. However, over in Australia, the Model 3 has been outselling the Toyota Camry through the first 9 months of 2022. A total of 1,610 Model 3s were delivered in Australia last month, adding up to 8,647 Model 3 sales in the country so far this year. The Toyota Camry in the same time window registered 8,703 sales, and this is a big deal because the Camry has been the most popular mid-size sedan in Australia for many years. This is a big deal especially for an electric car, but the Model Y is already massively beating these numbers. In September alone, Tesla registered 4,359 sales of the Model Y, which made it the third most popular car in September compared to anything. The only cars that outsold it were the Toyota Hilux and the Ford Ranger. This was also the first full month the Model Y was available in Australia, after Tesla delivered 1,017 of them in August after starting deliveries halfway through that month. Some of this initial performance has to do with pre-orders and Tesla finally introducing the car in that market, but it's a big deal nonetheless. The Model Y is ultimately the car Tesla is most focused on, and they have 2 factories currently scaling only building that car. Back in October of 2019, Elon Musk predicted that the Model Y would outsell the Model S, X, and 3 combined, saying, quote, "I've actually recently driven the Model Y release candidate, and I think it's going to be an amazing product and be very well received. I think it's quite likely to. This is just my opinion, but I think it will outsell S, X, and 3 combined." That seems to be coming true. Next up today, Tesla is once again removing a feature from their cars, and this time it's pretty significant. We know by now that Tesla has removed a number of small things from their cars in recent years, like passenger lumbar support, data supporting USB ports in the center console, HomeLink garage door openers, and the big one, radar sensors. Tesla said of radar at the time that, quote, "Starting with deliveries in May 2021, Model 3 and Model Y vehicles built for the North American market will be optimized for Tesla Vision and will not be equipped with radar. If you ordered a car before May and will receive a car that is not equipped with radar, you will be notified of the change in your Tesla account prior to delivery." They likely did this to navigate supply issues, but also as part of their ongoing quest for full self-driving achieved with pure vision. Interestingly, when this launched, it was feature limited compared to what Autopilot had delivered up until then. Their blog post, which has now changed, said that, quote, "For a short period during this transition, cars with Tesla Vision may be delivered with some features temporarily limited or inactive, including auto steer will be limited to a maximum speed of 80 miles per hour and a longer minimum following distance. Previously, Autopilot with radar was capable of 90 miles per hour and a following distance of 1. Now it's 2. It also brought other limitations like limits to certain safety and blind spot features, but those were restored via software updates as Tesla promised. They said, in the weeks ahead, we'll start restoring these features via a series of over-the-air software updates, and ultimately they did most of that. Still though, Autopilot is limited in some ways over what it previously was. Your maximum speed is 85 miles per hour for auto steer today, rather than 90 miles per hour, and you were required to keep auto brights and auto windshield wipers on when using it. These previously weren't required. Ultimately, what Tesla delivered with the new changed version of Autopilot does a great job, but I think it's important to point out the differences. It wasn't entirely, quote, restored, but changed a tad to deliver a very comparable technology, and still has a lower maximum speed. Now, Tesla is taking this one step further, and many are even more unsure about this move. Tesla officially updated their Tesla Vision blog post, removing all the previous info about radar aside from a couple paragraphs summarizing the change. They start by saying, "Safety is at the core of our design and engineering decisions. In 2021, we began our transition to Tesla Vision by removing radar from Model 3 and Model Y, followed by Model S and Model X in 2022. Today, in most regions around the globe, these vehicles now rely on Tesla Vision, our camera-based autopilot system." They also added that, compared to radar-equipped vehicles, Model 3 and Model Y with Tesla Vision have either maintained or improved their active safety ratings in the US and Europe, and perform better in pedestrian automatic emergency braking intervention. As for the new change, they say, quote, "Today we are taking the next step in Tesla Vision by removing ultrasonic sensors, USS, from Model 3 and Model Y. We will continue this rollout with Model 3 and Model Y globally over the next few months, followed by Model S and Model X in 2023. So once again, the Model 3 and Y are changing first as they have the larger fleet, and then Tesla will change the Model S and X. This is a really big change because the ultrasonic sensors were the last remaining sensors all over the car to help with parking and other specific tasks to prevent you from hitting other cars, especially at low speeds. Tesla adds, quote, "Along with the removal of USS, we have simultaneously launched our vision-based occupancy network, currently used in full self-driving FSD beta, to replace the inputs generated by USS. With today's software, this approach gives Autopilot high-definition spatial positioning, longer range visibility, and ability to identify and differentiate between objects. As with many Tesla features, our occupancy network will continue to improve rapidly over time." So they are diving even further into their vision-only approach, removing 12 sensors from all over the vehicle. Previously, Tesla's website would show 360-degree rear, side, and forward-facing cameras to provide maximum visibility, 250-meter forward-facing radar to provide a long-range view of distant objects, and 12 ultrasonic sensors to detect nearby cars, prevent potential collisions, and assist with parking. Now the only sensors left will be the cameras. Many have faith in Tesla's vision approach and feel that this ultimately will again result in very similar functionality. But here's what I don't understand. Why does Tesla make these changes before they are actually functional? On the next part of their blog post, they again say, for a short period of time during this transition, Tesla Vision vehicles that are not equipped with USS will be delivered with some features temporarily limited or inactive, including Park Assist alerts you of surrounding objects when the vehicle is traveling less than 5 miles per hour, Auto Park automatically maneuvering into parallel or perpendicular parking spaces, Summon manually moves your vehicle forward or in reverse via the Tesla app, Smart Summon navigate your vehicle to your location or location of your choice via the Tesla app. These are significant features that new cars will not have. As for the timeline there, Tesla says in the near future, once these features achieve performance parity to today's vehicle, they will be restored via a series of over-the-air software updates. All other available Autopilot, Enhanced Autopilot, and full self-driving capability features will be active at delivery depending on order configuration. Now the funny thing is, if you buy Enhanced Autopilot, 3 of the 5 listed features will not be available for an undetermined amount of time. For FSD, technically it's 3 out of 6 or 3 out of 7 if you get added to the FSD beta that will be unavailable for an undetermined amount of time. I say undetermined because it took Tesla a full year before Autopilot's top speed was raised from 75 miles per hour to 80 miles per hour and then 85 miles per hour where it stands today. Again, that's still 5 miles per hour over what it used to be. While Tesla says, quote, near future here, we really have no idea what that timeline is, and I think this is even more reason not to buy Enhanced Autopilot or full self-driving. Another reason is because while Tesla Vision is performing well, it does bring its own drawbacks. I just bought a 2022 Model Y and have already had a number of annoyances with auto wipers and auto brights. The other day, driving back from Bakersfield, my auto brights kept flashing on and off with no real rhyme or reason. Ultimately, I just kept flashing the cars in front of me, and it made me not want to use Autopilot. I can't use it without this turned on, even if it functions poorly like this, and these are just a couple clips of it flashing the freeway when I happen to be filming. I filmed after it was doing it a lot. Same with auto wipers on a different day. They just kept going and kept wiping the windshield without a drop of rain in sight. These are downsides brought with the removal of radar if I want to use Autopilot. I definitely do want to use Autopilot. This concerns me for how Tesla will deliver the features the ultrasonic sensors used to deliver. They ultimately say that, quote, given the incremental improvements already achieved with Tesla Vision and our roadmap of future Autopilot improvements and abilities, we are confident that this is the best strategy for the future of Autopilot and the safety of our customers. However, I'd argue that Tesla Vision still hasn't completely delivered that yet, and there's no timeline for these improvements without radar, let alone without ultrasonic sensors. Many are concerned about blind spots in the Vision approach compared to the parking sensors, which are placed on the bumper. How will a high front-facing camera be able to detect something right in front of your bumper? We'll have to see. As MKBHD and many others say, never ever buy a tech product based on the promise of future software updates. Many customers will be taking vehicle delivery without some essential park assist features that Tesla says they will restore in the near future. I personally think this change will probably end up fine, but putting customers through the limbo period of them actually being ready to replace these features doesn't really make much sense. Why not wait a few months until they can say, hey, we dropped USS sensors, but the features are exactly the same. Far easier and more comfortable for customers. Also, way less speculation about how Tesla will do this and what issues issues they may have. As for the timeline here, Tesla says that starting in early October 2022, all Model 3 and Model Y built for North America, Europe, Middle East, and Taiwan are no longer built with ultrasonic sensors and instead rely solely on Tesla Vision to provide Autopilot, enhanced Autopilot, FSD capability, and active safety features. We will continue this rollout with Model 3 and Model Y globally over the coming months, followed by Model S and Model X in 2023. Then Tesla adds, if you have taken delivery of your vehicle and are curious if your vehicle is equipped with USS, the 12 sensors can be found on the front and rear bumpers of your vehicle. This is true, and Tesla's renders already show how much different the bumpers now look in their cars. The front bumper of the Model Y, for example, looks like this as it is now, with all of these little circle sensors around. Now this change is going to remove all of these. One thing I won't argue against is the look here. It's very clean to not have any of these sensors on the bumper. Here's an example of the Model S renders before and after as well. Before, you can see those circles, and after, nothing is there. It looks really great, and we'll be seeing deliveries very soon with these updated, much cleaner bumpers. The photos are the clearest on the front bumper, but it will look the same on the rear as well, getting rid of those sensors. Many will see this as a simple cost-cutting measure by Tesla, but as they demonstrated at their last 2 AI days, they truly believe in their vision approach. They see this as the ultimate way to solve autonomy, and in the interim, deliver safety features for all of their vehicles. On September 19th, Elon said, note, Autopilot/AI team is also working on Optimus and actually smart Summon /Autopark, which have end-of-month deadlines. So that Summon that's actually smart will likely be delivered with Vision only. Likely those features are already very much in development, and Tesla sees them being improved upon over their current system with ultrasonic sensors. So they are making this change right away, probably to save a bit of cost on the features that they know that they're going to change in the months to come, and the sensors that they're going to ultimately remove. What do you think of this approach though? Do you trust Tesla Vision to replace ultrasonic sensors as well? Do you think Tesla is handling this well? Leave a comment below to let me know your thoughts. Interesting as well, Tesla has updated the Autopilot part of their website. Not only does it show the features we hear about, including Smart Summon, but it now shows future things including from home. All you will need to do is get in and tell your car where to go. If you don't say anything, your car will look at your calendar and take you there as the assumed destination. Your Tesla will figure out the optimal route, navigating urban streets, complex intersections, and freeways. Then after that, it shows what reverse summon would be, to your destination. When you arrive at your destination, simply step out at the entrance and your car will enter Park Seek mode, automatically search for a spot and park itself. A tap on your phone summons it back to you. These are great features that Tesla has teased being able to deliver for some time but hasn't been able to. Maybe this is now updated because Tesla Vision is what they're diving into even further. Next up today, Elon Musk appears to be proceeding with his purchase of Twitter. Twitter Investor Relations tweeted saying, quote, Twitter issued this statement about today's news. We received the letter from the Musk parties, which they have filed with the SEC. The intention of the company is to close the transaction at $54.20 per share. Ultimately, quote, the agreement would preempt a trial that had been scheduled for October, tied to Musk's efforts to walk away from his original acquisition agreement. Next steps here are unclear, but Elon has already tweeted about this news, hinting at it being a big step for his overall future company called X. He tweeted saying, buying Twitter is an accelerant to creating X, the everything app, and then followed up saying, Twitter probably accelerates X by 3 to 5 years, but I could be wrong. The full vision of Elon's company X is unclear, but back in 2020, Dave Lee proposed that X's mission is to ensure human survival and progress. X becomes parent company of Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, and Boring Company. Ultimately, quote, the mission of X holding company to ensure human survival and progress is a big deal, and I think big enough to hold all of Elon's ideas and ventures for his lifetime. He speculated on this because Elon already owned the domain for X.com. We'll see what Elon's true vision is here, but it's a big deal if this Twitter deal truly goes through. We could be getting updates anytime now. Last up today, some updates about other automakers. The Hyundai Ioniq 6 is impressing in initial testing. For its initial debut, the Ioniq 6 got 610 kilometers or 379 miles of range on the WLTP scale, but now it's revised for more range. In a press release, Hyundai unveiled a range of 614 kilometers WLTP or around 382 miles of range. It also has a drag coefficient of 0.21, making it, quote, among the most energy efficient mainstream EVs available today. A rough conversion to EPA would make the full range of the Ioniq 6 about 341 miles, which is very impressive. That's approaching the EPA rating for the long-range Model 3 at 358 miles, with a similar sized battery pack. That also means that the Ioniq 6 doesn't achieve its range with with more battery, but efficiency. Quote, Ioniq 6 will be one of the most energy-efficient electric vehicles, EV, on the market when it goes on sale later this year in select markets in Europe and next year in North America. It also includes 800-volt architecture and fast charging from 10 to 80% in 18 minutes if you can find the right charger for that speed. They're also planning a standard range version of the car with a 53 kilowatt-hour battery and WLTP range of 429 kilometers or 266 miles. Converted to EPA, that's roughly 237 miles of range. When this is introduced, it should be a very competitive, solid EV option. Great to see competition in this way. Over at Toyota, their first true electric offering, the BZ4X, couldn't really be going much worse. Toyota faced a full recall of all 2,700 BZ4Xs produced earlier this year because the wheels may fall off. Ultimately, they've needed to find a fix, but have yet to do so. Quote, according to a Toyota representative, that remedy is still being investigated, and as such, no new BZ4X sales are happening until it's taken care of. The issue also affects the Subaru Solterra, but no Solterras had been delivered prior to the recall. Definitely not great to see. I really hope Toyota can get this fixed, but that car already was going to come with some pretty big disadvantages, so I wouldn't be surprised if an entirely new version of this vehicle is what Toyota launches. We'll see. Aptera this week officially announced their solar cell supplier as they approach production for their solar-powered ultra-long-range EVs. Maxion is their supplier, working with Aptera, and they've already started making cells in what they call a cross-company collaboration. They are a solid option with a lot of experience in this field, so it's an exciting update from Aptera. We'll see when first deliveries occur there. That's all the latest Tesla news for today, so in the meantime, if you want to see Tesla's competition with Google and Apple, you can check out that video linked up here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.